Duat212 says, how long do you keep the conversation going during approach? That's really a hard question to answer because every approach is different. Every girl is different. You're different on every approach. So an approach and that might be solid in 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and another one might need 10 or 15 minutes. If she's really shut off, nervous and walled off, and it takes you 10 minutes to get her open and connecting to you and actually investing and leaning in, then that's what it takes. Especially with somebody that's learning. Somebody that's more advanced can open somebody else up a lot faster. But if you feel a really solid connection, let's say I've literally met a girl, said 1 or 2 sentences, she was leaving, I was leaving, got her number, ended up on a date with her, and those usually aren't solid because they happen so fast, but it happens. So if there's a strong connection and a strong sense of rapport, even in a few seconds, then it will most likely be there. Now, what often happens with you guys is you get a lot of attraction going, like this fun, playful energy, but there's no sense of connection, no sense of something more, no sense of them leaning into you. So what happens is they don't end up calling you back or responding to you later. That's a very common problem. So you either want to work on rapport, get them leaning into you. If you're running all attraction game and you're just trying to turn them on a lot, get them leaning into you because they're more in that mode of being a party girl. So that's the real question. Is she asking you questions? Is she curious about you? Does she seem like there's a sense of leaning in energetically? That's what you're looking for. So really pay attention to how it feels more than looking at your watch trying to calculate a time frame. Now, getting a girl to lean into you can take anywhere from a few seconds all the way to, I don't know, it could take 5 minutes, depending on how her walls are. If it takes her a while to really invest in you, make sure you spend a little time connecting with her after she starts investing in you before you move on. And that's basically it. If it's even better if you can sit and have a little quick instant date with her, even if it's only a few minutes. So there's so many scenarios and possibilities here, it's hard to answer that question, but I think that basically covers it. What was the second part of it?
You just mentioned like proper balance in day game versus at nighttime.
In what sense? In timing?
Yeah, like time of day. That affects it.
Bar
versus street,
Not really. I would say, again, you're going to have different energies. Girls in bars are going to be typically it's a louder, crazier environment. Day game is typically a quieter, calmer environment. So you need to calibrate to who you're being. In a bar, you can be more touchy, more aggressive, quicker. You can be more forward, typically quicker. During the day, usually you want to start out a little slower. Not that you can't as you get more solid, but you want to start out playing with a little more subtlety. During the day, there's a sense of being seen easier. Like when you're talking to somebody, they notice all your subcommunication much better. Now you go into a bar, and it's loud, it's noisy, it's dark, there's music, people have been drinking. They're not going to notice as much of your little tiny gestures as they're going to notice your solidness, your forwardness, your confidence, especially at first, until they at least go into a bubble with you. So that's the real difference between the two. During the day, you're going to need to almost learn to relax and a little bit more. And you still need to be, you can't be lower than that, but you need to be feeling comfortable being seen more. On an emotional level. At night, you can be more bold, more crazy, more loud. That's why some guys prefer night over day, but really it's not that different. It's just a bigger energy or a quieter energy depending on where you're at. As far as the time frame it takes, I've seen girls during the day, at night, let's jump to night. I've seen girls at night be totally walled off and it takes a lot of work, and I've seen girls at night just jump right on top of you, just about sitting on your lap in seconds and be all over you. And I've seen the same thing during the day. An example, out here in California, down at 3rd Street, there's a lot of girls on vacation from different countries. And sometimes you approach some of those girls and they're looking to have fun. They're looking to play, and it's day game, and they're like instantly like, oh, who are you? They're a foreigner, they've been here a few days, and bam, it's on like that. Where another girl might be getting off work and she's rushing to another job, or she's rushing to school and she's in a hurry, and you stop her and she's like, I'm going to be late. And so there's a whole different energy. You might have to walk with her for a bit that's going on, and you have to deal with all that energy as it's being processed. So The situation is what you're really dealing with. At night, you might walk up and she might be out with her sister and her brother. Well, let's say her sister, and probably not her brother. That happens. Her brother. I can think of a time when a girl was out with her brother, and they're all out together. It's actually several times, and they're hanging out. And so the girl feels a little more nervous because she feels like she's going to be judged by her family. And I'm thinking of a specific time when that happened. So it's going to be different than if you saw her alone or just with a few of her friends that are a little wilder and more carefree. And so just notice that's really what you're paying attention to, is who they're being in that moment.